Hi everyone. You know, I may not do As Failed on TV all that much these days, but I do still pay attention to a lot of advertising campaigns. The main reason for that being I just find marketing to be fascinating, especially marketing that's aimed at children. In the As Failed on TV days, I gravitated towards that quite a bit because, well, let's be honest, it's low-hanging fruit. The ads of those days are peppy, garish, nonsensical, and just desperate for a child's attention. A standout feature of those advertisements, outside of just how terrible they are, was in their creation. They were made by rooms full of executives who were trying to appeal to the youth of today by misremembering their own youth from 30 years prior. To cover this up, they bring in children to be in the advertisements, the thinking being, well, maybe kids will relate to what we're trying to sell them if it's a kid who is selling it. Never mind the fact that the kids they bring in are terrified because they're under high-intensity floodlights with boom mics being shoved into their faces. I can admit, I would likely have not been a good actor under those circumstances as a child. Probably even worse now. So if anything, I empathize with these kids. I understand why their acting may be called into question or criticized by a brute like me. Now, I'm still gonna do it, but I do it now with more nuance and understanding. Recently, I was on a long car ride, 20-hour round trip, and I needed something to pass the time because talking to myself gets old fast. I never shut up, and I can be kinda smug. So, to drown myself out, I listen to a lot of Pandora and Spotify, and I think one thing I realized while I was listening to it for hours on end is that there's like maybe a dozen ads that they run between them ever all the time. So I started to hear the same few at least a couple thousand times. Conservative estimate. And one of the advertisements that stuck with me the most throughout this was one for a brand that I assume most people have had some familiarity with at one point or another in their lives. Lunchables. So when I reach into my memory banks to pull out the products of my childhood, Lunchables really isn't chief among them. Don't get me wrong, I had Lunchables as a kid. Like, I remember getting those really shitty cold hot dogs back when they used to come with a can of Nameless Colon, a candy bar. Honestly, I pretty quickly outgrew Lunchables, and not because I was some big boy with, a refined palate. No, I was eating school lunch. So I was having cheap pizza squares and chicken patties. Probably along the same lines of quality, if I'm being honest. Then when I got older and joined the working world, I was bringing my own lunch to have on my break. And I remember some of my coworkers at the time were trying to have like a Lunchables renaissance. And they would say to me like, oh, eating Lunchables when you're an adult is cool, actually. And that is verifiably false. It is not cool. It's actually incredibly lame. Because it doesn't matter if you are the cheapest and laziest person on the planet, there are far better options available to you outside of, what is this shit, fucking crackers and ham? Anyway, there's this 15-second radio spot that kept playing over and over while I was on this car ride for Lunchables, and it really stuck with me. I've tried to find a visual version of it, but I haven't had any luck on that front, so unfortunately I'm going to have to act it out for you. So, I hope you come to this channel specifically for the love of theater.
You will arrive at your destination in 1 hour. Aww. Don't worry, kids. We have Lunchables. Let's Luncha-build! A pizza bulldozer, a kebabble boat, a cracker stacker train. You have arrived. Aww. What will you Luncha-build with Lunchables? Okay. Told you I would have been a shit actor.
You know, this ad really should have passed right through me like a Lunchable in my lower intestine, but instead it stuck with me like a Lunchable in my lower intestine. You know, don't get me wrong, I had Lunchables when I was a kid. I have distinct memories of eating Lunchables, but as I recall it, you could barely build your lunch with them, let alone advanced machinery. I assume most people will hear that statement and just not believe me. So how do I prove it? Well, now that I'm a big boy adult, the only person who can judge me for buying a bunch of Lunchables is the lady at the grocery store, and she's only going to do that if I tell her that they are for me. Otherwise, she's just going to assume I'm a cheap, shitty dad buying them for my children, and she is absolutely correct. I miss you. Come home. So here's something interesting. I actually bought 2 of each kind of Lunchable mentioned in the advertisement. Or I would have, but the kebables were nowhere to be found, and I checked 2 different stores. I would have gone to another because I adhere to the rule of 3s, but I'm not that dedicated to the bit. Except I am, because I learned that the kebable is essentially just chicken nuggets and pretzel sticks. So I bought a bag of pretzel sticks. This is true innovation here. This is all so that I can prove that there's no way you're building a boat, a train, or a bulldozer out of any of this. Oh, wait a minute, Chris. Hold on now. These are children. You gotta remember, they're using their imagination. Where's the rainbow? Imagine. Okay. One more time. Come on. Just imagine. All right, it only works in cartoons. Anyway, of course, kids, or anybody for that matter, you're not gonna be building a bulldozer out of bread circles and ketchup sauce. And to that, my response is, shut up. Okay, just shut your mouth. Yeah, I may be an adult, but I've got an imagination too. I've written books, you know. So like I said, I got 2 of each one because I figured there's 2 kids in the commercial, and I assume that they are going to be working together to build these things, which is not what I would have been doing with my siblings. I mean, I'd have been stabbing them in the eye with the pretzel sticks because I was a violent little psychopath. It also should be noted I'm going to be intensely stacking the deck in my own favor. If there's one thing you need to remember as a scientist, it's that your experiment should prove what you set out to conclude. If you're an actual scientist, just pretend I didn't say that. So how am I going to be doing this? Well, you see, the children in the commercial were doing their Luncha-builds inside of a moving vehicle. I will be using a table. I will have access to reference images, and I am inside of a stationary house. I'm also an adult, which is a considerable advantage in my favor. I am not some useless child with shitty Vienna sausage fingers. These are the thumbs of a grown adult man, baby. I can build Lunchables, and I can drive the car that they're built in. So take that, the younger generations. Until you one day surpass me, you can take solace in the fact that you can eat the bottom part of my shoe. Children suck, is what I'm getting at. That's why I sold mine. If you're one of my children watching this, just pretend I didn't say that. Okay, let's begin. I get the feeling this is going to be an absolute disaster, and watching me struggle for an entire video is not going to be entertaining in the slightest. So how about I talk about the Lunchables brand while we get started.
Fixing lunch is one of the joys of motherhood.
Peanut butter again?
You're always pressed for time.
Are you mad at me?
Thank goodness for Lunchables from Oscar Mayer. Lunch will never be the same.
Lunchables, it turns out, are only a couple years older than me, bursting out of a burning hole in the ground in 1988, a scant 1,000 miles away from the one I bursted out of. 'Twas a regular day, one day. Did I mention I write books? That's how they all start. Kraft Foods, alongside their conjoined homunculus of a merged brand, Oscar Mayer, realized they had an excess of bologna. Shit, no way. Bologna sales weren't great in the late 80s? Damn. Crack on the rise, AIDS patients being steadily ignored because society didn't care about the Koreas, Reagan destroying the world with his shitty understanding of economics, and the country was overrun by bologna. Truly a devastating time to be alive. So to rid themselves of excess meat, the corporation decided to pack these salted lunch logs alongside some crackers and what legally cannot be referred to as cheese. They then dropped these MREs on their testing site, Seattle, Washington. Oh, so that's what all those 12s are at Seahawk games. It's not the 12th man, it's 12 fingers, because this food is akin to radioactive waste. 1 year later, in the far more glorious time of 1989, Oscar Mayer was impressed with the success their brand had found. They'd managed to trick the children and parents of Seattle, Washington into thinking the snack that is often ignored at a Super Bowl party was a reasonable substitute for a lunch. So they decided to unleash their scheme upon the rest of the nation, and we've been lapping it up like desperate dogs ever since. Clearly it works. I have 6 of these stupid things now. The other 3 are over there. The lav mic might be picking up my stomach growling. I've got 6 Lunchables in front of me, and my stomach is like, I don't care what that is. Put it in me. Hi, Chris. I have a question. Did you use a significant amount of your grocery budget on Lunchables? No. Yes. All right. So we're making a bulldozer. Naturally, we're making a bulldozer. So let's see what we got to work with here. Admittedly, not much. Oh, God. I feel like this is going to go everywhere. So we get 6 pizza circles and 2 airheads. 2 airheads. A couple packets of sauce. And cheese crumbles. Cheese. Does this actually taste like cheese? It's like one of those like cheese sticks. That tastes weird. Going in as if the other bag is going to be different. Maybe the airhead could be like the... I'm not familiar with the terminology. What would you consider like the front, the pusher? Maybe we don't need to. Maybe that was an error on my part. And how are cheese crumbles going to enter into this at all? So my thinking is, okay, so we got 4, or maybe 2 of them can be like the body. Like I should have bought like some toothpicks or something. I'm thinking, all right, so obviously I didn't think this through. You know what? I'm thinking the pretzel sticks, these are going to be universal. I'll see if I can just use these. That's a nice little snack. Nobody ever gets a pretzel stick and is like, man, I wish that were sturdier. This is basically like a stand, and it'll be like the body of the bulldozer, and I'm going to use these bread circles as like platforms, like for the wheels. So I'll have ended up using 4 bread circles. These pretzel sticks are not going to pierce an airhead, so... That is a horror show for a later date. There you go. Enjoy your bulldozer. I had a good idea for it. It is just not... it is not doable. So, I hope you understand my thinking. Oh my God. That airhead is awful. Okay, so experiment 1 is a bit of a failure. There's something you could do with the bread, relating it to like circles, tires, wheels, more the words I was looking for. If I'm gonna go through all the trouble of having a Lunchable, I'm gonna actually have a Lunchable. Shitty cold pizza, baby. And I got the extra cheesy pizza. Maybe this would have been better had I gotten like a pepperoni pizza. Maybe that makes more sense. Oh, my big adult-sized Vienna sausage fingers can't fit in this fucking thing. Shitty Lunchables pizza. There we go. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. All right. Shitty Lunchables pizza. Here we go. I blew on it like it's hot, like it was a real pizza. Wow. Wow. Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad. So while researching this video, I decided to check up on the Lunchables website. I wanted to see what the stiffs in suits decided to plaster up for all of the World Wide Web to view. Immediately, I was forced to make an impossible choice, at least after my eyes adjusted from the garish red and yellow combination. Kids or parents? Well, that is already a problem. I'm neither one of those things. If you remember those jokes I said earlier about having children, just pretend I didn't say them. This is terrible. The Lunchables brand is asking me to falsify information. On the left are children who only tell lies. On the right are parents who only tell the truth. One door leads to death, the other to safety. You may ask us one question. Fuck it, let's go with parents. Oh, okay, so they cheated. The Lunchables website doesn't just use 2 of the same Lunchable for their builds. They were using many different kinds of Lunchables. And it's like, well, sure, of course, if I use every Lunchable ever conceived, I could probably build something pretty impressive too. Well, not me specifically. I mean, like, I was lucky that I could ever build a perfectly cubed house in Minecraft. I'm sure there are creative types out there who could build a working calculator out of one of these things, but that is not me at all. Other than that, we don't really have much to look at here, just the different kind of Lunchables that exist. No image available for Ham and American, that bodes well. Also, not really seeing a whole lot of baloney on this website. Have the baloney stores leveled out in the prevailing 33 years, or have we as a society finally realized that baloney is shit? There's a spicy take for you. I fucking hate baloney. You know what though, I get why this part of the site is so barren. It's meant for parents. Lunchables don't give a shit about the parents. That's not who this is for. Their product is aimed at the children, so how about we lie to Lunchables again and say that we're children, and see what it was they would say to us if we were bright-eyed young boys and girls and who have come and stumbled upon Lunchables.com because they are not completely broken by all of the dark shit that exists on the internet yet. Line of the man. Immediately, we are greeted by an advertisement that shows a Lunchables Trojan horse. Bit of an odd choice for a kid's product. Did the Iliad make it onto a lot of elementary school reading lists? All right, class, over the summer, I would like you to check out Charlotte's Web, and if you've got some time on your hands, how about the Odyssey? Lo, the children of Troy did let their guard down long enough for the Greek children to enter the city and slaughter them en masse. Thanks, Helen. Even dear Homer, in his epic tale of a man's self-destruction and rage, did blame the folly of said man on the woman. So next, we are doing... this one is fruit punch. This one is the kabobble, which again are chicken nuggets and pretzel sticks, which is an affront to humankind. But we do what we can. So how many we got? We got 10 chicken nuggets, 2 bags of nerds, and is that literally ketchup? That's so pathetic. Is this ketchup? That is ketchup. That's the fucking pizza sauce before they put any fucking herbs in it. I don't ever remember getting the chicken dunks or chicken nuggets. I don't remember them even having these as a kid. If they did, I don't know if I would have ever wanted them, because why would you ever get a cold... I do not eat cold chicken nuggets. Like, because they taste... Any sort of chicken like this, even like the best quality shitty chicken you can get, like a chicken, like a Tyson strip, even those cold are bizarre. These feel wrong. Wow. I mean, again, we have an aspect of the lunch that is not conducive to building at all. I will say, though, oh, they're both strawberry. I like the mix of strawberry and grape. Nerds are great. I fucking love nerds. So really what we've got to work with is, since I ate 9 chicken nuggets, but I don't like odd numbers, so I'm going to try one with the ketchup, and this will save me from having to try it later. That is bizarre. It doesn't even taste like chicken. I can't even tell you that these would be good hot. And the ketchup's just ketchup. Again, another item that we can't even use for building. My idea, you will see it as I prepare it. I kind of want to get sort of 4 of these together. And then, God, this breading is so crumbly. I guess it's better than if it were... Actually, what am I talking about? There's no way you make this better. All right, so I'm getting 4. Oh, never mind. The dream has ended. The dream has ended. Oh, fuck. It's not really a boat. It's not a boat. At all, really. It is a travesty. It has no chance of, oh God, floating. It would not survive any sort of journey. Ah, you bitch. Fucking useless chicken sponge. Yeah, this is not going great. I'm just covered in gunk. There we go. Here's your boat. Looks like a seaworthy vessel to me. Sorry, had a little bit of a lapse there. What does this blurb say? Lunchables with 100% juice has the stacking, crafting, fully playable kids' lunches of your dreams. Build something so cool you won't want to eat it. From kids' lunches so tasty you'll eat them anyway. Don't worry, there's always the next Lunchables with 100% juice. That paragraph feels like it was written by the yellow guy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
I don't like my window. When I look out through it, it looks back in through me.
Is that the draw of Lunchables, if I may ask? 100% juice? Capri Sun? Like, actually, Capri Sun's pretty dope. I do like Capri Sun. Now let's ask the real question here. Who are Lunchables trying to fool? Who on this planet has time to enjoy lunch? I remember being a kid in school, I had to eat lunch fast because my locker is on the other side of the goddamn school, and you gotta have a different textbook for your next class, and you better make sure you eat really quick so you have time to run to your locker, go get it, and then run back to the other side of the school to go to where your next class is. And then when you get older, you think, oh, now I'll have some time to enjoy my lunch. No, because, hey, we really need you on the sales floor, or could you do a working lunch? We, as a society, have trained ourselves deliberately to never take the time to enjoy fucking anything. So, who does Lunchables think they are, showing children these lies where they actually get to be children and just fuck around and pretend that chicken nuggets are the wheels on a bus or fucking boats or whatever I'm actually supposed to be doing here? Why is Oscar Mayer / Kraft so cruel? Last up is the Cracker Stacker train. I got 2 different ones here. I got ham and American and turkey and cheddar. And this comes with Pacific Cooler. All right, so I've already tried Pacific Cooler. That's what comes with. These are, oh no. Okay. So I think at some point in my script, I refer to these as Ritz crackers. And I'd like to apologize to Ritz. These are not Ritz crackers. Oh, Jesus. Those are very sad. This is our... Oh. This is our, not American... This is supposed to be cheddar? Bullshit. What did it... Oh, wait, no. This is ham and American. What is it? This is supposed to be turkey? Yeah, turkey and cheddar. That is not cheddar. This smells like ham. That is awful. Oh my god. All right, so we got... Oh, it's all wet. Oh, why is there so much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6. 6 turkey log slices. Too many of those. This little block of cheddar. Oh, God, and a Reese's peanut butter cup. Oh, this one. Fruit punch. Does Capri Sun only have 2 flavors? It might. So this is almost the same. The ham looks a little better. The cheese looks decidedly worse. And this one also comes with, it looks like 2 probably Chips Ahoy looking cookies. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if these are just Chips Ahoy. It doesn't, the thing's way over there. It doesn't name a brand of cookie that it is, but I'm hard pressed to think it's anything but Chips Ahoy. This, though, wow. This is horrifying. This is why they call it American. Look at those fucking ridges. That is an affront. Oh. It's a Kraft single. Get out of here. American. My butthole's American. This is a very wet ham slice. That is better than that. I know I'm supposed to be making a train, and the good thing about all of this is it's circular, but I have no way. I really should have gotten toothpicks. If I'd have gotten toothpicks, I probably could have made, because at least some of these crackers have holes in them, and I could have fit a toothpick through them. Oh my god. That's a hockey puck. Oh no, this cheddar's ridged too. I didn't even notice that. Oh, never mind. Not good. The good thing though about this is this makes more sense, right? Like there's more you could conceivably do when everything you're working with is like a buildable shape. Like you've got rectangles, you've got a bunch of circles, and I can see the imagination working it out to where you could have the crackers on either side, and those are your wheels. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. The pretzel sticks I have are too big, and if I try and jam it through, they're just going to get stuck. But that said, I do believe, had I been more attentive to what this was going to require, if I'd have bought some toothpicks, I can already tell you exactly what I would have done. I would have put, probably 4 on each. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have put the toothpicks in them, and I would have layered the cheese on it. So you would have, basically, you would have 4 wheels. You'd have a layer of cheese going atop the bed of toothpicks, and then I would just eat the ham and ignore the turkey because the turkey sucks. But we might not be out of the water. Well, we're about to be in the water because this is very wet meat. I can penetrate ham and turkey. It won't stand as well as perhaps everything else would. Do they give you the same amount? So I can tell you already, the ham and the cheese is worse, But you know what? If they gave you... Oh, God, my hands are covered in this awful nastiness. I haven't even tasted a cracker, and I don't really... Well, I guess I can. I'm not using them for this portion of the build. Let me try one of these. Something ain't right about that. All right. So this isn't going to stand on its own, but we can make better progress with something like this than I could anything else. It's a 6-wheel train. I have decided. Oh, I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to have all the turkey wheels and all the ham wheels. Oh, I'm going to get all over myself. Fuck me, that actually doesn't look half bad. I'll use another cheddar just to cover this like middle part here. All right. You know something? There's my little cracker stacker locomotive. It is 6 slices of turkey and ham pierced with pretzel sticks, adorned with a layer of cheese, and you know what? Fuck you. So this was actually kind of fun. I'm a reclusive cynic, aging more every day, slowly dissociating as the evil and stupid become more prevalent in society. I went into this video with the express intent of chicken dunking, on Lunchables. Like I said earlier, making fun of kid stuff is just easy. And yet, you saw me putting this stuff together. A boyish wonder and glee that I hadn't experienced in a long time erupted out of me. This was an ad campaign for a kid's product that didn't talk about health benefits, the environment, or the fucking quality of the product they're actually selling, which to some may be viewed as a misstep, but they ignored all of that and simply advertised the fact that sometimes it's just fun to mess around with your food. Now, let's be honest with ourselves. If you're getting a Lunchable, you know what you're getting into. It's chicken sponge, sugar ketchup sauce, and processed lunch meat. Yeah, they're horrible for you. When the healthiest item in the box is a pretzel stick, something has gone horribly wrong. But they didn't mention that at all. They didn't care about that one bit. They just said, hey, it's fun. Here you go. Building stuff is fun. Creating things is fun. Did I manage to recreate a bulldozer, a boat, or a locomotive today? No, of course not. But I didn't set out to. I may have told you to forget a fair few things today, but if there's one thing I want you to actually remember through all of this, it's that eating Lunchables as an adult is horrible because they suck. Still, it is your duty as a scientist to report your findings, even if they differ from the conclusion you set out to prove. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've opened up 6 Lunchables, and that is now my food for the day. With the amount of sodium set to be consumed, if I can take solace in one thing, it's the fact that when death finds me, I shall be perfectly preserved. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, comment with your own Lunchables-based memories. Links in the description will lead you to my various social media pages, books, and webcomic. Check those out if you get the time. Support me if you can, love me if you must, and have a wonderful day. Okay, so one of the things I was going to do to send this off would have been to put the chicken nugget raft in water, because I thought it was going to be the best of all of them. It actually ended up being the train. Unfortunately, while it was sitting and waiting, it's kind of started to fall apart. And since they're already shitty, soggy chicken nuggets, putting them in water and then having to handle them after they've been in water sounds like poison. Not that I was going to eat, not that I would have eaten them again, but yeah. And also, I didn't have champagne. You know, like when you're sending a boat off on its maiden voyage, you know, you're supposed to break a champagne bottle, and I think the SS Capsize wouldn't have survived that, and I don't have any champagne, so it would have just been bad luck. And I don't think half a dozen Capri Suns counts, so Was I able to build a boat? No. But here I have, I don't know, maybe a sundial with ketchup on the top. The fact that the kebab meal is a chicken nugget and a pretzel stick, that's awful. What's worse is the chicken nuggets are actually kind of growing on me. I might actually eat these. Well. Oh well.